Striving for a green Montserrat, everyone.
ICT.
Everybody know
ICT.
Information, communication, technology makes life easier for you and me.
Honorable Minister, Communication and Works, Mr. Paul Lewis, Member of Parliament, Mr. Claude Hogan, our facilitators, Dr. Sammy Joseph and Mr. Manish Valecha, our specially invited guests. Thank you for attending this event this morning, which is part of the ICT Week of Celebrations for 2017. As the Ministry of Communications and Works continues thrust to get in Montserrat, ICT prepared, down to ICT using, and as part of the energy sector too, which is celebrating Energy Month this week, we are going on a set of activities this week to highlight the use of ICT and to encourage the efficient use of ICT to make our work and lives easier. Today, we have our facilitators who are going to be sharing on using ICT in the workplace to get more efficiency and effectiveness as we seek to get the most out of our working lives. Without further ado, I'll ask the Honorable Minister Paul Lewis to come and present brief remarks, and following will be the Member of Parliament, Claude Hogan, and then we'll have our facilitators getting right into it to ensure that we have everything that we need to get in today. Thank you.
Good morning, my colleagues. I always consider you my colleagues. And of course, we are working on one team, that is Team Montserrat. Let me acknowledge the Honorable Claude Hogan, the Honorable Dr. Sammy Joseph, and I don't know if he's soon to be Honorable Manish Valecha. But yes, and of course, let me acknowledge everyone here today. Without you, there will be no workshop. Without you, there will be no Montserrat. As I look around the table, I notice this is the pool of our future PSs and politicians. So, you know, I stand here very nervous this morning, because I'm in an elite group. I'm speaking to an elite group here this morning. Well, everybody knows ICT, Information Communication Technology. So we're not strangers to the word or to the short ICT. Basically, what we're trying to do here in Montserrat is that the government of Montserrat has a mandate, and basically it's been delegated to the Ministry of Communication Works, Labor, Energy. That mandate is to implement the national ICT policy, strategy, and implementation plan. Of course, it's under the theme. Anybody know the theme? Or the vision? Come on. Montserrat in a digital world, green, connected, and thriving. You all can even copy well. It's right there. Anyway, we need everybody here this morning in order to make this a success. And I don't mean the workshop. I'm referring to the actual implementation of the policy, the strategy, and the plan. Part of the plan is to actually encourage you, the people of Montserrat, those here, those who are not here today, to actually build that ICT culture. One, speak to your boyfriend and girlfriends online, but hopefully you meet together sometimes. Two, doing business online. Three, advertising online. Four, conducting government services online. I can recall when we came over first, and I think to some extent it still exists, when you're asked to go down into the container and dust files off, to search for files. And some people complain about sinuses, so that's a health and safety issue. Well, one of the projects that we are supporting at the National Trust and MCRS is the digitizing of these files, so that we can move from this paper base to the digital processing. And that's where you get this green connected and thriving. Green, we're moving away from the paper base to the electronic processing. Connected, I already spoke about you on the broadband connecting to whoever you want to connect to, whether it's for business purposes or otherwise. And of course, thriving, I'm hoping that you all will be making millions of dollars like Dr. Sammy, who has his business there. We'll be asking him for sponsors soon. So I want everybody else to be able to make millions of dollars as well. And that's what we want to thrive. And of course, the economy, you know, once you make a lot of money, we're going to tax you because government needs to make revenue. So it's a win-win for everybody. So I really want you to pay attention today as Dr. Sami and Mr. Valencia, they go through the process for the workshop as they try to show you tips or areas in which we can increase or improve efficiency in our daily work. I know that you'll make me very happy if you're able to do that, and you'll make yourself very happy. And of course, you have even more justification for asking for a little increase here and there. Thank you.
Honourable Member of Parliament, Mr. Claude Hogan, please, brief remarks. Thank you.
Good morning, my friends. Good morning. Everybody wake up yet? Good, good. I wanted to just say a few words as a founding member of the National ICT Committee on Montserrat. It has come a long way since the days when we started, and I'm very delighted to have been invited to participate in these events every year. This year, I thank Honorable Paul Lewis for inviting me to say a few words on elite group, which he just mentioned, saving money and security experience. On the elite group business, I want you to know that the elite group extends to everybody who can be ICT savvy. If you're not ICT savvy, you don't aspire to be ICT savvy, that is to use online and electronic communications to communicate, do business, you're going to fall out of the set of elite group. Your children, you should try to encourage them to be in the elite group, let them be, because that is the way of the world. Everything is done online, in cyber world or somewhere that requires you to have simple skills. Second one is saving, which I link to the elite group. My mother is 80 years old, and I've been trying to get her to use WhatsApp because I have to call her from Montserrat, and it's altogether cheaper if I'm using WhatsApp. I used to pay $400 a month to Flow, and now all I pay is the Wi-Fi, and I get to call on WhatsApp. But sometimes she can't remember how to get connected. So that is the point I'm going to make on saving. You're going to save money by going online and using some of these apps to communicate or to do business. Now, saving extends to not only electronic saving. I wanted to explain it to you because we had a discussion recently. I want to explain because people don't understand saving, I guess. Because in Montserrat, I guess we have a culture of receiving. So if you say you're going to get a grant, for example, for housing, and I told you you're going to get $40,000 sent to your bank account, everybody instantly realizes an increase in their bank account means that they have gained some money. Now you haven't saved it, you have gained it, it's been credited to your account because you're going to participate in a housing program, and that's the government's contribution to your starting your first home. Now there's another way you can get the same 40,000. That is, there's another instrument that you can declare yourself on the application to be a first home owner. And they'll tell you, okay, your first $40,000 worth of imports will be waived at the port. And I found that many people could not identify with the saving as also gaining $40,000. It means you keep it. So you actually are $40,000 richer by taking advantage of the concession. So I want you to start to see that a lot of ICT is going to have to be viewed like that. You're not going to do things that you actually get money sent to your bank account. So I warn you, don't participate in all those things about send me some money, I'll send you a grant sheet to fill out, and you're going to be rich forever. Or I want you to participate, my grandfather died in Kenya, and send me some money and I'll get you 50 million. Those things don't work. What works in ICT is actually saving, getting things done for which you would have otherwise expended money, but instead of spending that money, you keep it on your bank account. And trust me, the more times you can short-circuit the system and use ICT, your bank account will grow because you'll be saving money. You'll be surprised that you yourself are giving yourselves gifts by being enterprising in ICT. The last point I wanted to talk to you about is about security. I had a security experience. I was in the Cayman Islands, and you have to be very careful on ICT and online and doing banking transactions. You have to have steps to follow and know exactly what you're going to do. So I was sitting there, and it occurred to me that I needed to pay somebody. And I opened my phone, and suddenly I was punching in my password. When I'd finished punching my password, the screen came up blank. And I said, wait, did I actually open the app? And it occurred to me that in this split second, I was thinking about going to my Royal Bank online account. I got a link. And instead of going to the app, I touched the link, right? And that is where I put in my password. And it suddenly occurred to me, I'm now thinking, I did not open the app. How did I manage to get my password? And I went outside, and I called Royal Bank in Montserrat, and I said, listen, I think I just made a boo-boo. I think I just hit a link, put my password, and somebody has my bank account. And the lady said, oh, we'll keep a tab on it. They kept a tab on it, and within 2 hours, Royal Bank called me back and said, did you just transfer $10,000? And I said, no, this is what I'm telling you. I know I made a mistake, and somebody must have my account. So they were able to freeze it at St. Kitts from Montserrat, and the police were contacted. They did some investigation, and they said the person turned up to actually claim the funds sent to this bank account. And as far as I know, no arrests were made, but when I got back from Caymans, I was interviewed, and there were no laws to deal with what happened. But luckily for me, I did not suffer any loss because I was vigilant. So I want you to be vigilant. Sometimes when you go there, you think that you're doing the right thing, double check, right? Make sure you follow key steps, especially when you're dealing with banking transactions. And this only happened to me in relation to St. Kitts because I usually send money to St. Kitts, and I guess that for my relatives there, somebody must have picked up, and I was entrapped. So I hope these guys go over that with you today, and I hope I've not said too much, but just enough to get you thinking how important the ICT world is, but at the same time, how very dangerous it can be if you're not on your P's and Q's. Enjoy ICT Week.
Honorable Minister and Member of Parliament, Mr. Hogan, thank you very much for those words, an interesting opening. I hope that everyone is peaked now and ready for what Mr. Manish and Honorable Dr. Sami have to offer. Because yes, ICT makes life easier, but you have to always be thinking, you have to always be on your P's and Q's when you're using and going into this world of technology. Let me remind you, before I hand over to the facilitators, the theme for this week is, we are using a part of this, Green, Connected and Thriving, Automation and Cybersecurity. Remember that, please, Green, Connected and Thriving, Automation and Cybersecurity. And I encourage you to participate in the activities for the week. We have quiz on the radio this week for children and adults, very attractive prizes, tablets, smartwatches, and the list goes on, that were donated by our partners. And we have a forum on Thursday night here, right here, back here at Cultural Center on cybersecurity with our cyber expert, Mr. Denfield, Cadet Morris. Well, he's a doctor in his own right. And you're invited 5 to 7. For those coming straight from work, we'll have refreshments. And of course, we will encourage you very much to get to attend that, as he will get into demonstrations, not only speaking, but demonstrations as to what to look for when you get into this world. Friday, we're going to have an exhibition from 9 to 5 right here at Cultural Center again. We encourage you to come and view the innovations and the designs of persons right here in Montserrat, where we're going, where we're taking ICT, what is happening in Montserrat, because there is a lot of things are happening in the telecommunication world that we probably are not aware, especially for the ones like us who are not deeply involved in this sector. That's about it for the week. We'll have another workshop, and we'll be having donations to the schools. We are going to be making donations to the Lighthouse Academy in about another 10 minutes of some computers, and we'll be making donations to the early childhood centers and the community centers of smart TVs, because we want to get ICT not only out there to the persons who are here today, but from into the community, the older persons, like Member of Parliament Hogan says, trying to get the 80-year-olds to use WhatsApp, get them online, get them into things. We're going to have things in the community center where they can come in and participate, learn to use the computers too. So we encourage everyone, be participative today, share your experience, ask questions, and when you leave, don't forget, carry the word out, share it with others, and remember the theme: green, connected, and thriving, automation, and cybersecurity.
Striving for a green Montserrat, everyone.
ICT.
Everybody know
ICT.
information, communication technology makes life easier for you and me.